Hey everyone, welcome. So today we're going to talk about something really interesting, how to take your English from just being correct to sounding genuinely natural and confident. It's often these small shifts that make the biggest difference in how you connect with people.
So let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You've put in the work, you've mastered the grammar, you know all the vocabulary, but when you speak, something feels a little off, maybe a little stiff, kind of like you're reading from a textbook? Well, you're not alone. It's a super common feeling, and we're going to tackle it head-on today.
Okay, check this out. This is a perfect example. On one hand, you have, I don't understand. Totally correct, right? Nothing wrong with it grammatically. But in a real, flowing conversation, you're much more likely to hear something like, I'm a bit lost. Can you feel that difference? The second one is just softer, it's friendlier, and it kind of invites the other person to help you out. That's exactly the kind of upgrade we're aiming for.
All right, here's our game plan for today. First up, we'll dig into what beyond textbook English really means. Then we'll get super practical with how to navigate confusion, how to share your thoughts, and finally, how to really connect in a conversation.
So, let's get one thing straight right away. This is not about fixing mistakes. Your English is probably already awesome. Think of this as an upgrade, like going from a good phone to a great one. It's all about adding those little phrases that pack in more nuance, more feeling, and just make everything flow better.
So what are these things? We're calling them native alternatives. Basically, they're those little phrases that add a touch of warmth and make you sound more confident. Because it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. And these are the tools that help you really connect with people instead of just, talking at them. Okay, let's jump right in and get practical. We're talking about what to say instead of, I don't understand. Now, look, that phrase isn't wrong. Sometimes you need to be that direct. But in a lot of everyday chats, it can kind of feel like hitting a brick wall, It just stops the conversation in its tracks. So let's look at some smoother options.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. I love this one because it's so versatile. You can use it whether you literally didn't hear them or if you just didn't get the meaning. It's just a really calm, polite way to say, hey, can you say that again?
Okay, next up, I'm not following. This is your best friend when a conversation is just moving too fast or someone's explanation is getting a little tangled. It's a super gentle way to signal, hey, slow down a sec without making anyone feel bad. And here's that phrase from the beginning. I'm a bit lost. It just sounds so natural, doesn't it? It's perfect for those moments when you were following along and then, poof, you've lost the thread. It shows you're still trying, you just need a little help getting back on the path. So, to wrap this section up, you've got a whole toolkit for when you're confused. You've got, I didn't catch that, I'm not following, I'm a bit lost. You can even try things like, could you give me an example? Or my personal favorite, let me see if I got this right. The main thing is, all of these keep the conversation moving forward. That's the goal.
All right, let's move on to sharing your thoughts. A lot of us get stuck on, I think. And hey, it works, but if you say it over and over, it can get a little repetitive. So let's look at some other ways to share your ideas that sound a bit more flexible and, conversational.
So I want you to think about this like a dial you can turn. At one end, you've got the super direct, I think. Then, in the middle, you have something a bit softer like, it seems like, which is more of an observation. And all the way at the other end, you've got the really collaborative, what if we, which turns your opinion into a team suggestion. Choosing the right one is all about reading the room. I think is awesome for a quick brainstorm. But what if we is way better when you're trying to get everyone on the same page about something important.
Okay, our final section, and this one is all about the small things that make a huge impact. We're talking about those little reactions and polite requests that make a conversation feel, alive. They make it feel respectful and truly back and forth.
Ah, a classic. No way. It's so short, so punchy, but it's packed with emotion, right? You can use it when you're surprised, when you're excited, or when you just can't believe what you're hearing. It's such an easy way to show the other person, wow, I am totally listening to you.
Okay, this next one you will hear all the time. That makes sense. Instead of just nodding your head, saying this out loud is so powerful. It's like a verbal nod that tells the other person, yep, I get it, I'm with you. It's an absolutely fantastic way to build a connection. That's fair. Ooh, this is such a good one. It's especially powerful when you don't actually agree with what the person is saying. What you're doing is acknowledging their point of view. You're showing respect for their opinion, even if you see things differently. Seriously, using this shows some next-level communication skills.
Okay, let's look at another one of these comparisons. On the one hand, send me the file. It's a command, plain and simple. But when you soften it to, could you send me the file when you get a chance? See how that changes everything? It's a polite request now. That little bit of extra wording takes all the pressure off and just completely changes the tone. This is absolutely key for sounding natural.
And all of this really gets to a much bigger idea, which is, what does it even mean to be fluent? It's not just about speaking fast or having perfect grammar. Real fluency? That's about connection. It's about using your words in a way that shows you're aware of the other person's feelings and making them feel comfortable and heard.
So, I want to leave you with a question. After all this, what's one small upgrade you're going to make to your English today? Just one. Maybe you'll try, I'm a bit lost, or that makes sense. Because remember, this whole journey to sounding more natural, it all starts with one small step.